Is social media destroying our kids' mental health? Or could it actually be benefiting them in ways we never realized? The truth about kids and social media isn't as simple as you might think. In today's digital age, social media has become a central part of our lives, especially for our children and teenagers. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Snapchat, but definitely not Facebook, offer endless opportunities for connection, creativity, and self-expression. But with great power comes great responsibility. And the impact of social media on young minds is a hot topic of debate. Thanks, Uncle Ben. And who am I to talk about this? My name is Dr. Sulman Aziz Mirza, triple board certified in adult psychiatry, child and adolescent psychiatry, and addiction medicine. And I always make sure to let my kiddo patients who think that they're a big deal with their 300 YouTube subscribers know that I'm closing in on 100,000 followers across my socials. Get to my level, young ones. When used responsibly, social media can be a powerful tool for personal growth and connection among kids and teens. One of the biggest benefits is the ability to stay in touch with friends and family, no matter where they are in the world. With just a few taps on a screen, young people can share photos, videos, and messages with loved ones, strengthening bonds and creating lasting memories. But the advantages of social media go beyond just staying connected. It can also be a valuable resource for education and learning. Many teachers are now incorporating social media into their lesson plans, encouraging students to collaborate on group projects and share ideas online. This not only makes learning more engaging and interactive, but also helps kids develop important digital literacy skills that will serve them well in the future. Social media can also provide a sense of community and belonging, especially for young people who may feel marginalized or isolated in their offline lives. Whether it's finding others who share their interests, connecting with people from different cultures, or discovering new perspectives, social media can be a powerful tool for self-discovery and personal growth. For example, a shy teenager who struggles to make friends at school might find a supportive community on a platform like Reddit, where they can connect with others who share their passion for a particular hobby or topic. Or a young person who identifies as LGBTQ+ might find solace and support in online groups and forums, where they can express themselves freely without fear of judgment or discrimination, which they may be facing in their daily lives. Of course, it's important to remember that social media is just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to personal growth and development. Face-to-face interactions, physical activity, and other offline experiences are just as important for a well-rounded childhood. But when used in moderation and with proper guidance, social media can be a valuable tool for helping kids and teens explore their identities, express themselves creatively, and connect with others in meaningful ways. So, the next time you see a teenager glued to their phone, don't be so quick to judge. They might just be using social media to learn something new, make a new friend, or discover a new passion. But what happens when social media use goes too far? What are the potential risks and dangers that lurk beneath the surface of these seemingly harmless platforms? As much as social media can be a force for good in the lives of kids and teens, it's crucial that we don't ignore the potential dangers lurking beneath the surface. Just like in the real world, the online realm has its fair share of risks and pitfalls that can have serious consequences for young minds. One of the most pressing concerns is cyberbullying. Behind the anonymity of a screen, some people feel emboldened to say and do things they would never dare in person. I'm talking to you, all my haters and critics online. For a young person who is already struggling with self-esteem or fitting in, being targeted by online bullies can be absolutely devastating. It can lead to feelings of isolation, anxiety, and even depression. But cyberbullying is just the tip of the iceberg. Social media also exposes kids to a wide range of inappropriate content, from violence and hate speech to pornography and substance misuse. Even if they're not actively seeking it out, this kind of content can pop up in their feeds or be shared by friends, leaving a lasting impression on their developing minds. It's ultimately an issue of consent. We've all scrolled our feeds and come across something we wish we hadn't, something we didn't ask to see, something we didn't want to see. And then there's the issue of privacy. In the age of oversharing, it's all too easy for kids to reveal too much personal information online, from their home address to their deepest secrets. This can make them vulnerable to identity theft, stalking, and even physical harm. But the dangers of social media go beyond just the online world. It can also have a profound impact on real-life relationships and social interactions. When kids are constantly glued to their screens, they miss out on valuable face-to-face time with family and friends. They may struggle to develop important social skills like empathy, communication, and conflict resolution. And let's not forget about the toll social media can take on mental health. A growing body of research suggests that excessive use of these platforms can lead to feelings of inadequacy, FOMO, fear of missing out, and even the controversial term of addiction. It's not uncommon for teens to stay up late scrolling through their feeds, sacrificing precious sleep in the process. In fact, a study published in the journal JAMA Pediatrics found that spending more than 3 hours a day on social media was associated with higher rates of internalizing problems like depression and anxiety in adolescents. And a survey by the Royal Society for Public Health in the UK found that Instagram was the worst social media platform for young people's mental health, linked to high levels of anxiety, depression, and poor body image. So, how can parents and educators step up to the plate and become the guardians our kids need in this brave new world of social media? What strategies can we use to keep them safe and healthy online without sacrificing their independence and privacy? We don't want to be helicopter parents hovering over our kids' every move online, but we also can't afford to be hands-off, leaving them to fend for themselves in a digital world that can be both wonderful and treacherous. Let me tell you how. First and foremost, it's all about setting clear boundaries and expectations. Just like we have rules around bedtime, homework, and chores, we need to establish guidelines for social media use. This might mean setting device curfews, creating screen-free zones in the house, or limiting the amount of time kids can spend on social media each day. But it's not just about setting rules, it's also about having open and honest conversations. We need to talk to our kids about the potential risks of social media, like cyberbullying, inappropriate content, and privacy concerns. We need to help them understand that what they post online can have real-world consequences, and that their digital footprint can follow them for years to come. Like I always tell my patients, the internet is forever. And that picture you send to your boyfriend on private, well, it's almost never truly private. Ultimately, the key to helping kids navigate social media safely is all about building trust and maintaining open lines of communication. By working together as parents and educators, we can create a supportive network that helps young people thrive both online and off. But what happens when things start to go wrong? How can we tell if social media is having a negative impact on our kids' mental health and well-being? And what can we do to intervene before it's too late? Picture this. Your once vibrant, outgoing teen is suddenly spending hours locked away in their room, eyes glued to their phone. They've skipped family dinners, they're blowing off homework, and seem withdrawn and irritable. As a parent or educator, these changes in behavior might set off alarm bells in your head. Could social media be to blame? The truth is, while social media can be a fun and enriching part of a young person's life, it can also have some serious downsides. Excessive use can lead to a host of problems, from poor sleep and decreased academic performance to feelings of anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem. So how can you tell if your child's social media habits are veering into unhealthy territory? One big red flag is a sudden drop in grades or loss of interest in school. If your straight-A student is suddenly struggling to keep up, or your once enthusiastic learner seems checked out and unmotivated, it could be a sign that they're spending too much time scrolling and not enough time hitting the books. Another warning sign is a change in social behavior. If your kid is constantly begging off family activities or friend hangouts in favor of alone time with their phone, that's a cause for concern. Ditto if they seem more anxious, irritable, or withdrawn than usual. So what can you do if you suspect social media is taking a toll on your child's mental health and well-being? The first step is to start a conversation. Ask open-ended questions about their online experiences and really listen to what they have to say. Avoid lecturing or making accusations, and instead focus on building trust and understanding. One of the key takeaways that resonated with me from my conversation with Dr. Tyler Black is also asking what appeals about social media or gaming to them, as well as what are they avoiding by using these electronics? Are they excelling and winning online while constantly losing in real life? Is there conflict at home that they're able to escape from in their phones? These are questions worth asking. It's also important to set clear boundaries around social media use. That might mean establishing phone-free zones or times, like during family meals or before bed. You can also encourage your kids to think critically about the content they consume online. Teach them to question the motives behind the posts they see and to be aware of how social media can distort reality. Another key strategy is to model healthy social media habits yourself. If you're constantly glued to your own phone, it's hard to expect your kids to behave differently. Make a point to put your devices away during family time, and show your kids that there's more to life than likes and followers. Finally, don't be afraid to seek professional help if you're concerned about your child's mental health. therapist or counselor can provide valuable support and guidance for navigating the challenges of growing up in the digital age. The bottom line, social media is a powerful tool that can enrich our lives in countless ways. But like any tool, it needs to be used responsibly and in moderation. By staying alert to warning signs, setting clear boundaries, and fostering open communication, we can help the young people in our lives reap the benefits of social media while avoiding the pitfalls. It's not always easy, but it is worth it, because at the end of the day, nothing is more important than the health and happiness of the next generation. In the end, it's all about finding the right balance when it comes to social media and our kids. We can't just ban it outright or pretend it doesn't exist. Social media is here to stay, and it's a big part of how young people connect and express themselves. We also just can't let them loose online without any guidance or boundaries. As parents and educators, we have to be proactive. We need to educate ourselves about the apps and platforms our kids are using, and stay up to date on the latest trends and challenges. We need to have regular, open conversations with our kids about their online experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Most importantly, we need to model healthy social media habits ourselves. That means putting down our own phones and being present with our kids. It means setting clear limits on screen time and sticking to them. And it means showing our kids that there's more to life than likes and followers. By the way, please like and subscribe. Thanks. By working together and staying engaged, we can help the next generation navigate the complex world of social media with confidence and resilience. It won't always be easy, but it's one of the most important things we can do as guardians of the future. So let's keep the conversation going. Let's share our struggles and successes and learn from each other. And let's never stop striving to strike that perfect balance between online and offline life. Let me know in the comments below what you think about social media and how you've created a system that works or doesn't work at home. Until next time, be safe and be well.